My father is a dual citizen. He's both a Filipino and a senior citizen. He has this habit of texting in all caps until finally one day I respectfully informed him that, "Tatay, do you know that when you text in all caps, you are like shouting at that person?" He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. The only reason I do that is because it's easier to read." I don't know about you, but it is very likely that you and me has committed some social faux pas online. Let's admit that cyberspace has its own culture. Thus, we are prone to be guilty of a few social blunders. We might have touched on the sensibilities of some people without really meaning to, or we may have felt a bit sensitive or offended by someone when they didn't intend to. If you have seen the movie Chef, you would have an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's look at 10 basic netiquette guidelines by Virginia Shea. Yes, Shea like the Shea butter soap of Ivory. Now, they are just a set of general guidelines, so they may not answer all netiquette questions, but they are a good start. So whether you are a newbie or a cybernaut, let's all learn some netiquette. What is netiquette? If etiquette means the forms required by good breeding or prescribed by authority to be required in social or official life, then netiquette is a set of rules for behaving properly online. This is because, as mentioned earlier, cyberspace has its own culture. Number 1, remember the human. We all know the golden rule, do unto others as you want others to do unto you, right? But it's easy to forget that behind that screen of your laptop, iPad, smart device is actually another human being. As a reminder, ask yourself this: would you say it to that person's face? If not, don't send it. Rewrite, reread, and if you can say it already to the other person, then you may. Besides, whatever you say or post online is actually stored somewhere out there, and you're not sure when it might come back and bite you. Number 2, be online what you are in real life. I'm sure you aren't in person, so don't be one online. Just because we think that the chances of getting caught online is slim, it does not give us license to forget our manners or our netiquette. By the way, if it's illegal to do online, most likely it is also bad netiquette. Number 3, know where you are in cyberspace. Netiquette varies from one domain to another. What may be acceptable in one forum may be rude in another. So lurk before you leap, think before you click. Before you participate, observe first and get a feel of what is going on and who is on. Then go ahead. Respect other people's time and bandwidth. It's your responsibility that people who read your posts don't get to waste their time. So be mindful how much time they will spend reading your posts. Don't eat up bandwidth by flooding or posting multiple copies of your files, and don't post very large files too. Also remember, you are not the center of cyberspace. So don't feel bad when after all the work you put into your project, you don't get instant responses. And don't assume that everyone will agree or even like your work. And oh, while you are spending time online, do remember your loved ones who also want to spend time with you. And just because it's easy to carbon copy or CC others, you see in the old days, that's what they used to give copies to other recipients. They use carbon paper. Just because it's easy to click CC to everyone in your contacts list, it does not translate to all of them, all of us, wanting to read your next sub-story to your grandma. So unless a contact really needs to know, don't send them a copy. Make yourself look good online. The net is populated by people who, like in the real world, just want to be liked and appreciated. You won't be judged easily based on your looks, skin color, age, or fashion. It will be how you communicate. So your spelling and grammar counts. Brush up on these if you need to. Know what you're talking about. The statement, "the Carabao can fly," is grammatically correct, but does not make sense. Writing, "I believe that," or "it's my understanding that," is not good netiquette, because after it is posted and reposted over and over again, this bad information can actually make people believe it's factual or gospel truth. Don't post flame bait, so be pleasant and polite. Is swearing acceptable? That's a good question. If you really want to make a point, It suggested you use the classic asterisks or euphemisms like effing, like when I heard my children say, "What the fudge?" Number 6, share. The internet was founded and grew because scientists wanted to share information. We have become recipients of that unselfish act. So let's contribute in making the world a better place by sharing. For example, share the answers to your questions, preferably in summarized form. If you're an expert, all the more share your research or findings, although you may want to check out copyright in cyberspace. But share, I'm sure you have something. Help keep flame wars under control. Flaming is what people do when they express a strongly held opinion without holding back any emotion. It's the kind of message that makes people respond, "Bring it on!" Being tactful is not its objective. Flaming per se is a network tradition. It can be fun both to read and write. But flame wars, which is a series of angry letters or responses, usually just between 2 or 3 people, can be unfair to the others in the forum as they can hog not only the discussion but also the bandwidth. Now this is pretty straightforward. Respect other people's privacy. You want your privacy respected, right? So respect others' privacy too. Not doing so can cost you your job. Okay? So end of discussion. 9. Don't abuse your power. Some people in cyberspace have more power than others. There are wizards in multi-user dungeons, experts in every office, and system administrators in every system. Knowing more than others or having more power than they do does not give you the right to take advantage of them. For example, system administrators should never read private email. So number 9, don't abuse your power. Last but not the least is number 10. Be forgiving of others. We all started as newbies, and even experienced cybernauts could be an A** and have not necessarily read nor seen these core rules of netiquette. So when someone makes a mistake, take the high road and be kind about it. Now, if you feel strongly about it, think first. Think twice before reacting. If you feel like giving your piece, do so politely. And as much as possible, do it in private, like private message or email. Pointing out violations of netiquette is actually poor netiquette. As a parting note is a song by Cat Stevens titled "Wild World." It goes, "La la la, baby, I love you. But if you want to leave, take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there. But just remember, there's a lot of bad, and beware. Beware." Hope we all learned something. These core rules of netiquette are excerpted from the book Netiquette by Virginia Shea. You may check them out online at the URL shown on the slide. Thanks to Private Ramirez for the video and Private Mercado for the audio. Have fun. Goodbye.